Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now, this is my first show in a couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy. Unfortunately, I did not get to go to Monsterpalooza in Pasadena for the 10-year anniversary. There were some transportation issues that I won't go into, and I'm pretty devastated about the whole thing. I missed out on chances to meet Ted White, who played Jason in Part 4, Pam Grier, Danny Trejo, Paul Sorvino, who I will be meeting at Sinister Creature Con in Sacramento in June, and many others. So I'm over that right now. But I'd like to announce really quickly we lost two great giants in stand-up comedy. Harry Anderson, the great magician, comedy club magician who played Harry on Night Court, the judge, the star of that show. He died so suddenly at the age of 65, and he pretty much disappeared after that show was over. And then the lady who started it all, Mitzi Shore, the owner of the world-famous Comedy Store in West Hollywood, passed away. Rest in peace, Mitzi. You began the careers of so many giants in comedy, from Leno, Letterman, Jimmy Walker, Andrew Dice Clay, Roseanne, Sam Kinison, all the greats. And you will always be remembered for that, Mitzi. Rest in peace. But today, I will be interviewing Kathy Ladman, the legendary stand-up comedian who's also a paid regular at the Comedy Store for many, many years. We're going to talk about her beginnings in New York stand-up and everything else in just a few moments. And I'm pretty excited because she's a comedy legend, and I love interviewing comedy legends. All right, so she should be calling me any moment now. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Tommy.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I am just spectacular. This is such an honor for me because I've always thought that you were a very funny lady, and it's such an honor to be speaking with you.
Oh, well, it's such an honor to be speaking with you.
Aw. So how did your set go the other night at the Comedy Store?
It went really well. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun, yeah.
Yeah, I had a whole weekend planned. I was going to go to the horror convention out there, Monsterpalooza, and then my friend, he's got drug issues, and he ended up having to cancel. And then, yeah, I was pretty upset because I wanted to see you and Steve Byrne and Eleanor Kerrigan. I was looking forward to seeing all you guys, and
how was your friend?
He and I are no longer friends, but he's allegedly in a rehab facility, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Yeah, but what year did you start doing stand-up, and where at?
Are we on, by the way? Is this are we recording?
I'm recording. Yeah, it's live in that capacity, but I'll be uploading it to YouTube.
Oh, okay. So what was your question? What year did I start? What's your question?
What year did you start and where?
I started in 1981 in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm just going to swallow a fistful of vitamins. Hold on. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I know. I do chewable vitamins.
Really?
Yeah.
But I have to take so many different ones, and they obviously don't make all of the. I mean, I have to take little like obscure things.
Yeah.
They don't make them in chewables. But I hate it's like gaggy, and the taste of vitamins is so gross.
Yeah, very gross.
I hate it. Anyway, so yeah, 1981 in New York City. Did you ask me another question?
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
Did you start at Catch a Rising Star?
Well, no, I worked my way up to that. I started at at a club called Good Times
Oh yeah.
in where are you calling me from? Portland?
No, Redding, California.
Okay. So yeah, I started at a club called Good Times at 31st and 3rd in Manhattan,
Right.
and that was like kind of like a lesser known club. We didn't want to like start at the time there were the three major clubs in Manhattan. It was the Comic Strip,
Mm-hmm.
Catch Rising Star, and the Improv. And we didn't want to, kind of burn ourselves. I'm talking about when I say us, I mean like my generation of comedians. We didn't want to burn ourselves at the good clubs until we were ready. So I think works at Good Times at some. Come on, boy. Come on, Chappie. Come on, Chap. No, okay. So we looked at like clubs at that level, at a lower level, kind of more obscure because, especially at Catch. I mean, I ended up working mostly at Catch and the Comic Strip,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Comedy Cellar when that opened. I was not an improv act, at least in New York.
Yeah.
And industry would show up at Catch at least, and we didn't want to. I didn't want to be seen until I was ready. So I took my time, but I started at Catch. I auditioned at Catch. I tell you exactly when because it was my nephew's birthday, December 5th, 1981.
And that was a Saturday.
It was a what?
That was a Saturday. I'm very good at.
It was?
I'm very good at knowing like dates and times and stuff.
Oh my God! Are you one of those people?
Yep.
My God. December 5th, 1981 was the Senate. Wow. I didn't think they had a showcase on a Saturday. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm surprised.
Yep. I'm pretty good at knowing that stuff. And I was just about a year and a half away from being born.
Wow. Well, all right, a little perspective there. I was down. So I was really
Mm-hmm. Who was there when you started?
young. Who was at Catch?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Adrian Tosh, J.J. Wall were in the room at Tony. And Bill Maher actually helped me get the audition spot.
Mm-hmm.
And who else was working out there? Dennis Wolfberg was working out there. Eddie Sheik, Gilbert Gottfried, Steve Middleman. Belzy would drop in sometimes. He was already beyond the room. Well, don't think of anybody.
John DeBellis.
What again?
John DeBellis.
Oh, John DeBellis. He was not doing stand-up anymore. But he was good friends. Oh, Mark Schiff.
Yeah, Mark Schiff.
He was good friends with John DeBellis was good friends with Steve Middleman and Schiff, and he wasn't doing stand-up then.
Oh, okay. Who are some of your influences?
Well, you were working at Catch or before that?
I can't hear you, Kathy.
You can't?
No, it was cutting out.
Uh-oh. Should we change rooms?
I don't know.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. I said, are you asking about my influences who were working at Catch or my influences from before that got me into comedy?
Oh yeah. I mean, before that, like your childhood influences.
Well, I used to listen to comedy albums, and my very favorite one was Nichols and May, Exam Doctors,
Love that.
When we sketches that have to do with doctors some way or another. Just a fantastic album. And I memorized the entire album, and I still know it to this day. And when I got to work with Mike Nichols on a couple of films, I was standing next to him at one point, and I didn't even think about it, but something came over me, and I started doing one of the pieces on the album, and he started doing it with me, and it was so amazing. It was wild.
Nice.
Oh, it was like the most surreal, incredible thing that has happened to me in this career.
Yeah, Nichols and May, they were pretty great, I have to say.
Do you listen to them?
Oh, yes.
Or have you?
Oh, yeah, I did when I was younger.
How did you get introduced to them? Because you're so much younger than I.
I grew up with parents who were comedy lovers, and I watched everything when I was a kid. I mean, nothing was censored. I mean, I saw everything, and I've always been.
What was there that could have been censored anyway? I mean, there was no cable. I mean, there was nothing dirty that you could see on TV.
Oh, I watched dirty cable when I was a kid.
Oh, that's right. Well, wait a second. You were born in
83.
In 83?
Yeah.
So when you were old enough, that's right. Cable was in existence. That's right. You grew up with cable.
Yep.
Oh my God. You're so young.
Bob's such an old soul.
So you grew up around when the HBO Young Comedian specials were starting and the comedy specials were starting?
Oh, God, yes. When I was 2 years old, my dad showed me the Rodney Dangerfield special that made Sam Kinison the star, and he made me want to do stand-up at the age of 2 because of his scream.
Oh, my God. I know that's primal. I guess that would have killed you 2 years later.
Yeah, I mean, it had a huge effect on me.
Wow, that's really funny that a 2-year-old could connect with Sam Kinison, and it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, it was just that was like the golden age of comedy.
Yeah.
The 80s were fantastic.
Yeah, it was just it was phenomenal. So did you know right away what your act was going to be?
No, I mean, I just knew that I was going to be who I am on stage. I wasn't going to do a character, but I had to find my way, and work through my fears and my nerves to find my way to being authentically me on stage.
Yeah, I remember you did a bit where you said you had to deal with this immigration officer, and she thought that you said that you were a Canadian.
Yes. That's actually like one of the classic pieces that I've done. People really remember that.
Yeah.
In comedians, yes. And it actually happened, something like that. It didn't happen like that, but I was pulled out of immigration to the office, and I had to wait. I was working in Winnipeg, and I had to wait for the officer to come into the room, and there was a big notebook open, and I was reading it upside down, and across the page diagonally, it said comedian. But when I was reading it upside down, I thought it said Canadian. So I thought, well, there's got to be something there.
Yeah.
So that was the weekend that was born. But it took about 6 months for that bit to really gel. And that was one of the bits that I did on the first Tonight Show spot.
Yeah. I did this bit early on when I started that subconsciously probably was inspired by that, where I said that I'm Croatian, but a lot of people never heard of Croatia or Croatians, so they always say to me, "What, you're pro-Asian?"
Oh, you're pro-Asian?
Yeah. I used to do that bit. Yeah.
You do stand-up?
I've been doing stand-up for 12 years.
Oh, and where do you work?
Well, I just moved here to Reading about a year ago. There's not much around here. Whenever I'm in the Bay Area, which I was last week, I did some sets. But I started in San Francisco, where I'm from.
Yeah, that's nice. I love it up there.
I hate it.
You hate San Francisco?
I used to love it, but I don't anymore. It's changed.
Oh, why?
It's so tech now, and so it's such a rich area, and just the people have become so politically correct over there, and it just makes me sick.
Oh, okay. So what are you on now?
I'm sorry?
What made you move to where you live now?
Oh, my mom moved out here first, and then she needed help with the rent, and so I came out here to help her.
Okay. What's it like up there?
Very rural, country-like.
Yeah.
People here are very white trashy, and when it's hot, it's hot. It's like 120 all summer long.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How long are you going to live there?
Well, we're trying to move to L.A. so I can further my career, but we're waiting for her to retire and stuff, so not much longer.
Right.
But what year did you move to L.A.?
I moved in 1985.
1985.
Yeah, I moved out with my then boyfriend, Steve Middleton.
Mm-hmm. And did you go right? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, and then we broke up before we moved, actually moved. We came out with our apartment and then we broke up. And then we moved out here separately. Each of us.
Mm-hmm. Did you go right to the Comedy Store?
Well, I had come up because he went out for pilot season in 1985, and I came out and joined him for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Set up an audition for at the Comedy Store, and I passed. Mitzi said that I could, I could be regular, I could be paid regular, and so I was working there, every night. It was great. It was just great. I mean, it was so helpful to my growth as a comic to have that much stage time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not easy. I mean, it was so much easier to get stage time in New York than it was in Los Angeles. New York, you could do several different places in one night.
Yeah.
And here, it just wasn't like that.
Yeah. I know this one comic. Do you know who Ali Wong is?
Yes.
Yeah, she was in New York for a couple of years. She was able to do sometimes 10 sets in one night.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
I think five was my record. It was my personal best.
Wow. Yeah, two or three for me.
It seems insane to me, but whatever. If that's what you like.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. All the comics on the weekend were, cabining around Manhattan, trying to get to every place on time.
Oh, it's still like that.
Say it again?
It's still like that.
I know. It's really wild. I mean, you can make a living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But not here.
Yeah. It's tough, but I want to give it a try because I do other things like acting and screenwriting and stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I've been doing more acting lately, which I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you? So did you audition for Mitzi?
Yes, I auditioned that night for Mitzi, and she was sitting in the back at her table. And when I was there the other night, they had her table reserved, and there were flowers on it.
Oh. And
it was, everybody. I mean, Louis Anderson was there, and he said something. He talked about Mitzi, and the guy Kevin Christie was on before me. He talked about Mitzi at the end of his set,
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to him at the end of my set, and I'm sure that several people that night did. Because it was, so fresh.
Yeah. And did you do mostly belly room shows?
No. I actually did mostly original room shows. And
That's a tough room.
Occasionally the belly room and occasionally the main room.
Yeah, the OR is a tough room.
I love the OR. I really love the OR always. I mean, I found that to be an easier room than the main room for me.
Really?
Yeah, it was just, just kind of, and it was also, it was the 80s. It was a different time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very different time. Comedy was really a novelty back then.
Yeah. Okay, I've had a couple comics that were there at that time, like Brian Seff and Stephanie Hodge, and they told me how insane that place was when Kinnison hit it big and all the porn stars and all the coke dealers were there.
Yeah. I guess it didn't I didn't really mix with that crowd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I knew Sam, but I didn't mix with that crowd, so it never really affected me.
Mm-hmm.
When I had my own set of friends there. I hung out a lot with Steve Odekirk.
Oh yeah.
And who's the film director now.
Yep.
And Valerie Pappas, who I don't think is performing anymore, but they were my best friends at the Comedy Store back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I listened to the Comedy Store podcast, and I know all the infamous comics who never quite made it that are like mythology there. Guys like Vic Dunlop and Danny Stone and Freddie Asparagus. Right. And
Freddie Asparagus.
Yeah, I remember him. He was the bartender in Three Amigos.
Right. But Vic Dunlop, was very beloved, and he had a road career.
Yeah.
But that's what he had.
Yeah, he had that
And then there was.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
He had that Billy Sullivan face.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we worked the Comedy Store in La Jolla, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Comedy Store in Vegas, which I love. We had so much fun there. Oh my God, we had so much fun. Dom Herrera, I would hang out with there, Bob Saget.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, fun.
Did you know?
That was an easy week.
Yeah. Did you know Nancy Redmond?
Oh yeah, from New York. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And,
I haven't seen her in a long time, but she's become a really successful playwright.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I've actually reached out to her for an interview, but I haven't heard back.
Oh, okay.
And Todd Lemish.
I don't remember him.
He was the MC of the potluck. They called him the Todd.
Oh yes, the Todd, of course. I guess I never knew his last name.
Yeah.
Right. What was the potluck?
The potluck, the Monday night open mic.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I recall. Wow, you're taking me back.
Yeah.
Oh God, those were such great days. Oh my God, they were such thrilling days.
Yeah, I mean, all the stories I've heard of just how crazy it was in the mid-late 80s there.
Those were the days of my youth, I think. Not in my 20s, not in my teens, in my 30s. Those were the days of my youth. Those are the days that I really miss, that I feel nostalgic about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first couple of years I did stand-up, I was doing it in this... It was a cafe with a laundromat. It was called The Brainwash in San Francisco.
Oh, funny.
It just closed down about 5 months ago, after like 20 years. And I started out there. Oh my God, there were some crazy characters in that place. It was like my Comedy Store the first couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Yeah, those are really sweet days, and you're not far enough away from them. but when you get farther away from those days, you remember them with such a sweetness. They're so formative, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They were just really great. They were, at the time, I thought they were bad days, but looking back, they were good days.
Right. I remember, like, in New York, we would go do these gigs, like these one-nighters in New Jersey and Long Island and upstate New York. And I remember one night, and my friend Deborah Mickens, she and I were good friends in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And she and I would go out and we would do various gigs, and we were doing different gigs that night, and then we'd get home and call each other at like 2:30 in the morning crying because we had such a horrible show, and we'd think, one day we'll show them.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so funny. One time Deb was from San Francisco originally, and then she moved to New York, and then she moved out here.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't do stand-up anymore. She does storytelling and singing. But she used to do this bit about, she would say to her mom, Mom, am I pretty? And her mom would say, Beverly, you have the kind of beauty that's inside. And she said, no, not the inside beauty. And so one night she's on stage in some horrible place in New Jersey, and she gets to the point where she says, Mom, am I pretty? And some guy from the back of the room yells, no! And they horrible. What kind of horrible person does that? What kind of horrible, damaged person does that? Oh, God. Those were tough things when we came across those. Yes.
I can imagine.
Those were tough. Jesus. Oh, I knew, like, when Richard Lewis was starting, he was doing this a comedy night in a bowling alley, and it was really rough. And there were some bikers in the bowling alley, and they're watching him, and he's having a hard time. Nobody's laughing at anything. And so he's starting to go out to the crowd to see if he can get something, by talking to them. And so he says to this guy, and what do you do? And the guy takes out a knife and grabs the mic cord and cuts the mic cord and says, I do this.
Oh, my God.
I know. How scary is that?
It's very scary.
Yes. I mean, the situations that we would put ourselves in, and driving with people who had been drinking. Oh, my God. I mean, like these bookers who've been drinking and taking us to and from the gig. We were putting our lives in our hands.
Yeah. Oh, my God. There's some crazy people at the Brainwash. There was this one woman. She was like a 50, 60-year-old Jewish homeless woman. She went by Sweet Gail. That was her comedy name. And
oh my God.
She'd go up on stage and she would say all these jokes that just made no sense. She had one good joke that was pretty damn funny, and people used to quote it all the time. She would say that her vagina was mad at her, and her vagina would talk to her and say, "Why are you talking about me in your stand-up?" And she would look down and say, "Because you're so entertaining."
Jeez.
That was her only good joke.
Wow. That sounds like something that might come from homelessness. Oh, that's so sad. Was she literally homeless?
Yeah, she was like always wearing rags and stuff.
Oh. Wow. Because she had no fear. That's beneficial for stand-up.
Yeah, she disappeared. Nobody knows whatever happened to her. But for like 2 years, when I was in that place, she was there like every week.
Wow. So, how long have you been out of San Francisco?
The 1 year anniversary was on Sunday.
Oh, wow. Okay. Where did you live? What neighborhood?
I lived in San Mateo.
Oh, nice.
It was a nice area. Yeah, I miss San Mateo.
Yeah, really nice.
I miss the way it used to be.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Me and my family, we all went to high school with famous people and stuff.
Yeah, like who?
My mom went to high school with, she went to elementary, middle, and high school with Dennis Haysbert from the show 24.
Sure, I know Dennis Haysbert, right. Yeah, we used to do these golf tournaments together, right. And now he's just doing Allstate commercials. He's such a talented actor.
He's very talented, and she still talks to him.
Yeah.
And
Still talks to him?
she still talks to him, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And my dad, he was a little bit older, but he knew Bruce Springsteen's sister Pam. She went to San Mateo High School.
Oh, wow. What was she doing there?
After Bruce graduated from high school in the late 60s, the family moved out to California, and they lived in Concord for a while next door to Tom Hanks. And then after Born to Run hit, he bought the family a house in San Mateo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. His parents were there up until about 20 years ago when the father died or something.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. I always thought everybody grew up in New Jersey from his family.
No, just Bruce. That's why he's a Jersey boy, and he does all those Jersey songs.
Right.
So what was your relationship like with the Improv in L.A.?
I worked there.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at the Comedy Store more, but I worked at the Improv too.
Mm-hmm.
And I hung out at both clubs, and it was quite fun.
Yeah.
The Improv was probably the better fit for me as far as like the type of act that I do.
Yeah.
Because it was, straight monologue. Whereas the Comedy Store tended to have more variety acts.
Yeah.
Not that there weren't monologists there, but if you were a variety act, you would go to the Comedy Store. Since I started at the Comedy Store, and I was getting, like, if I was in town, if I wasn't on the road, I would work just 6 nights a week. I could get that many spots there. So, and then I worked both clubs and kind of did it quietly because they didn't like what you did.
Oh, yeah, I've heard those stories.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous. I mean, Mitzi never said anything to me, but one time I was talking to Bud, and he was trying to get me. I was working. What was I working? Oh, I was working Catch a Rising Star at Bally's in Vegas. They had a room for a short time there, and so Bud was in town, and he asked me to work the Improv at the Riviera, and I said, oh God, Bud, it's so many shows. It was 21 shows a week.
Wow.
And he said, yeah, but you only have to do like 10 minutes. So I never worked the Improv when it was at the Riviera in Vegas. But one time I was in Atlantic City working the Improv, and Bud was there, and we were going out for something to eat, a few of us, and Bud said something like kind of offhanded to me about me working the Comedy Store. And I said, well, Bud, I'm just trying to make a living. I mean, it's like so petty.
Yeah.
Why they would use the comics as tools to feed their own egos was really ridiculous. So he stopped saying things like that after I said that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird that Mitzi's gone now.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is the passage of an era.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how she did it and how she knew comedy so well, but she just changed the whole landscape.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she really, she was a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
She truly was.
Do you know Steve Pearl?
Yes.
Yeah, he used to call the Improv Uncle Bud's House of No Eye Contact.
That's very funny.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
But there are a lot of people who came out of the improv. I mean, look, well, no, they came out of New York, really. You know, like Paul Reiser and Larry Miller and Jerry Seinfeld.
And Joe Bolster.
Oh, Joe Bolster. Actually, you know, the first time I ever did stand-up, it was before I really started, was in 1977 at a place in Philadelphia where I was an English teacher.
Oh.
And it was a place called Grandma Minnie's. I did 2 consecutive Wednesdays, and then I didn't go near a comedy club again until 1981. But Joe Bolster was the MC.
Nice.
And Rich Hall was there.
I love Rich Hall.
Remember him?
Yeah, I love Rich Hall.
So, and he complimented one of my jokes. It was really, it was such an honor. I was a big fan of his. And he was at the time when he was living out of his car.
Oh. Yeah, I love Rich Hall. To me, he's one of the most underrated geniuses. So the first time you got on the Tonight Show, did Johnny call you to the couch?
Well, the first time I actually did this, it's interesting you asked that. Hold on one second. The first time I was booked on the Tonight Show, Johnny was hosting, and I was bumped because Harry Anderson. Another
one who died.
Long.
Yep.
Yes. He went long, and was doing magic tricks, and then he dropped his pants, and it was a whole free-for-all, and I was bumped. So I never got on the show that night. When I was rebooked on Tonight Show, Jay was hosting. And he, of course, and I did panel. I sat on the couch with them, and then they wanted me to do the show with Johnny, and I said, well, I really want to do panel. I don't want to, because I liked doing panel. I thought, it was a real strength of mine. So, did you just sneeze?
Oh, I just coughed.
Oh, okay. And so anyway, so they arranged it that I was going to be able to do panel with Johnny. So then I went on a couple of times with Jay, and then I went on like 4 times with Johnny, and then I went on some more with Jay, and I did a total of 9 times.
Nice. Yeah, that's
it was great.
That's more than most people got in those days.
Well, yeah, but then there were people who did like 60 times,
Oh, yeah, guys like Rodney and Argus Hamilton.
Oh, David Say, somebody you probably never even heard of.
Oh, I know who he is, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. He did like 60 times, something like that. I don't know, some crazy amount.
Yeah, and like nobody knows whatever happened to him.
No, I don't know either.
Yeah, 60 times, and then that was it. That's so crazy.
Oh, God, I know. I can't even, like, the amount of material that you have to do that.
Yeah.
You're doing 5 minutes stand-up, but then if you do panel, that's another 2 minutes of material. So let's say that's 7 minutes times 60. That's 420 minutes of material.
That's a lot.
Same. Yes.
And then you got to do the 12th annual Young Comedian special.
Yes, that was so fun. That was in New Orleans. In August. Horrible time to be in New Orleans, but it was still fun. I was pretty green then. It was still, it was in 1988.
It was 88.
Okay. Maybe it came out in 88, but I think we taped it in 87. it was fun. I mean, it was, and I did it with
Paul Rodriguez hosted.
somebody that say it again.
Paul Rodriguez hosted.
Yes, Paul Rodriguez hosted, and I did it with Rich Jenny.
Yeah, I love him.
Whom I knew from New York. He was a great comic.
Oh, best.
And who else? Paul Dillery, whom I became good friends with.
Yeah.
From Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Heywood Banks from Detroit. And Rick Reynolds,
Yeah.
who was the big headliner. He was the closer, and he was like the one who really. He was one of the first people in comics who did a one-person show.
Yeah.
It was very, very successful. Very successful.
I think Whoopi did it first, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, Whoopi did it, but Whoopi wasn't a stand-up comic.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was like a performance artist.
Right. So, so Rick was one of the first from the comedy, the stand-up comedy world who did that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great fun. I mean, I met great people there. I mean, I knew Rich Jenny from beforehand. I remember I knew him from New York days when we used to work at this place in Brooklyn called Pips.
Yeah.
In Sheepshead Bay.
Yep.
And he was so shy and really reticent on I don't know if that's the right word, but he was shy. He was shy on stage, and he changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He really got big on stage. I mean, he really got big and loud, and not screaming, but very strong. He was a very strong act.
Oh, he was a master craftsman. I mean, I heard he could do 4 shows in one night and never the same material.
Right, I know, amazing. He was really he was quite an act. So sad
Mm-hmm.
that he took his own life.
I mean, the first time I saw Steve Byrne, I said to myself, "This is the closest we have to Richard Jenny now. He's got that same kind of energy."
Who? The first time you saw who?
Steve Byrne.
I don't know who that is.
He did the Comedy Store the other night with you, but I think he was like earlier in the evening or something.
Oh, I know. I never saw him.
Yeah, he's the Irish Asian guy.
Oh, okay. I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, he's got this.
How do you spell his last name?
Byrne.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll look him up.
Yeah, he's got this energy on stage that's just like Richard Jenny's. I mean, he's amazing.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Let's.
Go ahead.
Let's talk really quickly about some of your movie and TV work.
Okay.
You had a small part as a beautician in Moonstruck.
No, I don't, and I don't know why. You know what? They credited me instead of it was Amy Aquino.
Oh.
And they credited me instead.
I haven't seen the movie in years, so I couldn't even confirm or deny that. That's just so weird.
It's Amy Aquino, and somebody mistook me for her, and they put it on my IMDb.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, certain people
call them, but I guess it's not at the top of my list every day.
Yeah, certain people I've had on the show, I've asked them about certain things, and they're like, "I wasn't in that. That's just IMDb," you know.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. But I mean, that's where you get it from. I mean, they're very fast too. You know, I'll see something and then I'll look at IMDb, and this thing's not even out yet, and they have it up there.
Yeah. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I love that movie.
Yeah, who would have thought that would have become such a classic, huh?
Yeah.
That was so much fun. I tell you, I think I know what got me cast in that was the way I could affect the sound of spitting sunflower seeds out of my mouth.
Yeah.
They just thought it was hilarious. And I'm pretty sure that's what got me the job.
Oh, my God. Yeah, what's her name? Who's in it? Kimmy Robertson. I met her at a convention 2 years ago. She's so funny with that little voice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, do they have convention? Do you mean they have people from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitters that show up at conventions?
Well, no, like horror and sci-fi and comic book conventions.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
She was she was there to like promote the Twin Peaks reboot, and so I got to meet her. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you did Nervous Ticks.
Yes, and Bill Pullman was in that, so I got to meet him there. Really, really lovely guy.
Yeah.
And Rocky Lang was the director, really nice guy too. I met Julie Brown there. I never got to meet Peter Boyle there, but I worked with him when I was on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yep, and Josh Mostel.
Josh Mostel I worked with. He played my husband in it.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, it was really fun. That was really fun. A friend of mine produced that, and that's how I got the audition.
Yeah, I remember it vaguely from when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
'Cause I saw everything.
Surprised. I'm really surprised.
Oh, God, I am like the walking encyclopedia of comedy and movies.
I guess. Wow. And then, of course, I met Gary Shandling when I did What Planet Are You From, which was not a great movie, but still very exciting. I was with Annette Bening and my friend Bill Dwyer played my husband.
Mm-hmm. You also did an episode of the Weird Al Show.
Yes, and he sent me a Christmas card every year.
Oh.
Every year, he and his family. He's a very nice guy. He really is.
Yeah,
very nice guy.
I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Weird Al.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And then you also did a bunch of episodes of Caroline in the City.
Yes, I was the elevator lady, and I also wrote on the show. But it was great. I mean, that was great fun. I mean, I really wanted to be on the show, and they said I could be a recurring character. And it was a small part, but it was still fun. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. First celebrity I ever met at a convention was Leah Thompson, and I nearly fainted because I loved her as a kid. I had a huge crush on her.
The future, right.
Yeah, oh my God, it was so surreal. It took me about a month to come off of that.
Oh, wow, that's so funny.
I have our picture like right by my bed, like our photo op. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I loved her. She was so sweet.
She was great. Yeah.
Did you ever experience any Me Too moments in the industry?
Not in this industry, no. No, in other industries I did. Mm-hmm. But not in this one. I guess I was pretty lucky.
As a teacher, you experienced it?
No, before that, when I was working in Manhattan in the garment industry.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah. My boss touched me inappropriately, and I left the job fairly soon after that. And that was right before I was a teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, Stephanie Hodge told me that she got raped by some comic when she was like first starting. Like when she first started in Ohio or Minneapolis, wherever it was.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
Yeah, she said that, you know, she beat the shit out of that guy. She nearly tore his nutsack off.
Oh my my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, ever since this movement started, like I've had guests on the show, like just take the initiative to like tell me their Me Too experiences, and I feel so honored that they trust me and that they don't mind, speaking out about it. It's amazing.
Have you heard a lot of them?
Oh, a lot.
I'm not surprised, but really sad.
I mean, I've had a couple people like say that they did have it, but they're over it, and they just think that I mean, they think it's great that women are speaking up about it, as do I, right? But they just don't like the certain people who are like jumping on the bandwagon and stuff, and so she didn't want to like talk. They didn't want to like talk about it,
Right.
But I think it's a great thing. But just there's a lot of people who are just jumping on the bandwagon and saying things that are obviously false. In certain cases,
Right.
I thought that Louis C.K. thing was bizarre.
Oh God, awful. Let's end on a high note because I have to get going.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, we lost track of time.
What else do you want to ask me?
Oh, what's your favorite joke of all time?
Of anybody's?
Of anybody's, yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know if this is my favorite joke. One of my favorite comedians and a dear friend was Kevin Meaney.
Yeah.
And he could make... Oh, shit. Hold on a second, okay?
Okay.
It's my husband. Can you hold on a second?
Yeah.
I know, it's very awkward.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
So, Kevin Meaney.
My husband can't find my daughter.
Oh.
Okay, she said that she's at softball practice and she's probably still there. But anyway, Kevin Meaney would make me laugh like no one else.
Mm-hmm.
When he does that thing about when he came out as gay to his wife, and he comes down, like he makes you coming downstairs in a Speedo. Do you know that?
No, but it sounds funny.
I am my own special human being. That's what he's singing, and he was so funny.
Yeah.
I miss him. I miss him so much. I mean, we acknowledge his birthday. I'm still in touch with his wife and daughter, and we all miss him. We all miss him terribly. Everybody who loved him misses him. And there was nobody I knew who loved to be on stage as much as Kevin. Nobody.
Yeah, he was a very funny guy. My favorite joke of all time is this one Eddie Murphy told to a couple 13-year-olds in the audience on Delirious. A bear and a rabbit are taking a shit in the woods. Bear says to the rabbit, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" The rabbit says no, so the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit.
Yes, I know that joke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then the rabbit died from the stink.
And the rabbit what?
And then the rabbit died from the stink.
Yes.
That's my punchline. So, Kathy, do you have any upcoming projects or club dates you want to promote?
Well, right now I am working on my solo show, which is to be renamed, but is currently called "Does This Show Make Me Look Fat?" So that's what's really taking up most of my time these days, and doing workshops of that. And then I have some stand-up dates coming up in the fall. I'm going to be in Spokane Washington. Let me see the date. I don't have the date in front of me, but it's in the middle of September in Spokane at the Bing Crosby Theater, and it is shoot. Oh, I don't have it in here. Damn it. I don't have it in here. All right. Anyway, it's in September. It's on my website. And then I'm going to be in Boca at the Black Box Theater at the end of October.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're busy.
I am busy. And then hopefully more acting stuff will, keeps coming up, which I love doing. I really love doing that.
That is super. Kathy, I thank you so much for taking the time this late afternoon.
Thank you.
And you really did surprise me. You were very clean.
I didn't restrain myself at all. It's just not that I don't, say stop plenty, but it just was. There was no time when I really felt I needed to be that emphatic, I guess.
Well, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Take care, Tommy. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Kathy Ladman. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Kathy. You were a really good interviewer. And if all you out there like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. And join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. And all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks.